What's up, YouTubers? This is Mike from Narcotropolis, aka Mike, Cafe con Mike. How's everybody doing? I see I already got 9 people waiting. Thank you for being here. Everybody watching the replay, how you doing? Um, Let me shoot.
Even if you don't like flashy jewelry, but you want to get yourself something nice, you're gonna want to take notes on this little secret. Major.
All right, perfect. All right, like I said, this is Mike for Cafe con Mike. As you can see, the title, Brittany and Brian. I don't know if they're coming in today, but I titled it anyway because she said she should be here Saturday at 11. Um, as some of you know, she was on the stream a few days ago, and I see that she's here. Hey, Brittany, good morning. Brittany, I just want to wait for some more people to come in before I drop the link. But I'm sure you saw what happened last time. I had a family emergency. I had a couple live stream. I don't know if you came back and watched it or not, but there was a family emergency that I had to attend to. Uh, I just want to address a couple of things. Did you guys watch my? Um, if you're not a channel member, it dropped at 10 o'clock this morning. Did you guys watch it? What happened with the First Amendment? You could turn it into an audit, First Amendment audit. Um, haven't seen any negative comments yet. I don't know. Maybe it's because of the police officer said that I was in the right. But I already knew I wasn't in the right. I asked the police officer because I knew the trolls would come in soon. Because it's a shame that a lot of Americans don't know the First Amendment. They don't know their rights. If they knew their rights and they knew that the police can't do nothing, a lot of them won't attack some of us YouTubers or anybody with a camera. People that do that are uneducated with the First Amendment. Um, I also ran into some police officers that also was uneducated with the First Amendment, or if they do know, they just don't care. But there's some of them that do care. There are some of them that you know they took an oath to protect and serve, and but how's everybody doing? Hello, Brittany. Again, Brittany, I apologize. What happened last time? Hey, Cynthia D. Good morning. Everybody in the bushes watching. Good morning. Thank you for being here. Um, Deb, how you doing? Deb, good morning. Thank you for being here. Um, I said when I changed my name that I wasn't going to show my face no more. And if you watch the video from 10 o'clock today, uh, as I was talking to the gentleman about what just happened, you see me blurring my reflection in the mirror. The reflection of the window. I was blurring it out because I didn't want to show my face no more after the name change. But when Brittany came on and the couple minutes I was with her, and she was showing her face, I kind of felt bad. She didn't understand what was going on with my channel, and I said once I change the name, I'll never show my face again. But I felt like I was disrespecting her because she went through so much more than me, and she showed her face. So I felt like I was respecting her by not showing her face, and it was bothering me. And if I didn't get that family emergency, I probably would have showed my face. But for true respect towards her, and and Brian, I will be showing my face when she comes up. I don't want to, but I am. But Brittany would probably be the only one I do that for. So any trolls out there, haters, start snapping, start screenshotting because you probably won't see my face ever again. But real quick, um, you guys got to go watch if you didn't watch it yet. This like my third time watching it, but I finally finished the whole movie. I was always watching like 20 minutes of it and an hour of it. Never caught the ending. I knew how the ending was going to be because I know her story, the true story about Amy Winehouse, London's biggest superstar uh, since the Beatles, I guess, in the UK. But it's called Back to Black. Her successful double platinum album, Back to Black, to be a movie about it. Um, I was always a fan. I just didn't understand how. I know what addiction can do to someone, but I just never understand with the love she had around and the support from her staff, how drug addiction, alcohol can destroy life. She had everything. She had all the money in the world. I mean, she was just a great upcoming star, and addiction took that from her. And it's a very sad movie. Again, it's called Back to Black. It's named after her successful double platinum album, Back to Black. It's a very personal song to her, um, about her and her husband Blake. But if you didn't watch it, I recommend you watch it, especially people in the UK. They probably already watched it. Pete probably saw it. Cool Meg probably already saw it. They all probably saw it already. It's a great movie. It came out a while ago. I don't know, a year or two ago it came out. When did it come out? A year ago?
It just came out a few months ago.
2 months ago. 2 months ago. But I seen it. I watched it with you, but we didn't finish it, right? How long we got into it? Like about an hour, right? After they met in the bar playing pool.
Yeah,
They didn't break up yet, did they?
they broke up.
One time, because they broke up twice. She married him, and then they broke up after that when he went to prison. But right before that, before they got married, we stopped watching it. I don't know why we stopped watching it. Something happened. I don't know. But I watched it again last night. But this time I finished it. Um, it's sad what happened to her, man. I think, my opinion, what I saw in her career when she was alive, and what I saw last night in the movie was that Blake was with her and left her when her career was going down, and then when it picked back up, he came back into her life, and he was living the life. He admitted the only time he bought her drinks is when he first met her in the bar. That was the first and last time he bought her drinks. I mean, she paid for his trips to Miami, to New York, like all over the world. She paid for everything. Um, it's just sad, And he once told her dad, when he was in jail, "I'll leave her for some money. If you give me some money, I'll leave her." You know, dude's scumbag. I seen this interview with Good Morning the UK instead of Good Morning America, Good Morning UK. It's scumbag. But check it out, movie. It's called Back to Black. Um, so I'm going to drop the link for Brittany. Um, let's see if she um, copied. Is it copied? Copy. All right. Let's see if that works. All right. Let's try it. Paste. Yep. There it is. I remember last time it took you a while to get up here, but maybe you got it this time. Oh. Up there. Let's see. Accept that. Let me see. I'm just gonna go like this. Um, wow. So if you didn't watch my upload at 10, go watch it. Go check it out. Um, okay. Yeah, I seen that performance, Cynthia, but I saw it on TV. That happened in what country was that? Unless you was there live, Cynthia, I don't think you left Detroit to go watch her perform all messed up. She never performed in America the way drunk on stage like she was. They were booing her, and it wasn't in America. It was, I forgot what country it was. There goes Brian. I see you, Brian. I see you. You want to leave the camera on? You want to leave the camera on? If you want to leave it on, you can leave it on. I'm about to put you up. All right. Um, Welcome, Brian. Everybody, Brian. Can you hear me, Brian?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I can hear you. You sound good. What's up, everybody? How's everybody?
Ah, there it is. What's up, bro?
You look good, man. How are you?
Good, man. Man, I'm Never been better.
I heard you was working.
Yeah. Yep.
That, that's
Yep.
good. Get. You know, I
Working
was.
straight.
I asked Brittany, and I want to ask you. Have you watched the old videos of you guys?
Actually, we watched the one the other night. When she had seen the cross that you gave me
Hmm.
and the accusation that she made.
You don't remember saying that? You was out of it, dude. I remember
No.
you saying. I remember you saying, "What the fuck? I'm fucking Mike now." It was hilarious. That I had to make that the title of the thumbnail, man. But it was great. Uh, but be
We were
honest.
laughing. We were laughing how
Right.
I called her Blues Clues and Inspector Gadget.
Yeah, yeah. But I also said that was the drugs, man. I'm sure she's not like that now.
No, absolutely
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
Not at
She
all.
was very paranoid. She loves you a lot, you know. But
Yeah,
I had to ask.
I
I had
love
to ask
her.
you a question. I had to ask you a question. How do you feel when you watch those videos?
Um, I try to look at it as that was me before I was saved, and you I'm a new person now.
That's good. That's good. That's
And
good.
without I think everything that we went through, especially the last 3 years of living out on the streets up there, um, you know, was molding us into the people that we have become and will continue to be and continue to grow and.
Right. Remember, I told you. I said, as long as you got air in your lungs, you have plenty opportunities.
Yeah. Yep.
Remember that. And
Yep. Absolutely.
there's a girl out there now, Amber. I don't know if you know about Amber,
I'm not sure.
YouTube star in Philly, but she had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. People just gave up on her. But I remind people, as long as she's alive and got air in her lungs,
Yeah.
she has a chance.
Well, I don't know if you remember one of our interviews that we did after the first time that the guys from the Fix and Beacon Hill came down, and they said they would come back, and they had came back like 2 or 3 times looking for us, but they couldn't find us. They didn't know where we were. And in the video, I say to you, I guess it never works out. Oh man, getting choked up.
Chills, the goosebumps.
Um,
Take your time. Take your time, right? Take your time.
um,
Take your time, man. Take your time.
yeah,
Let me cut in. Let me cut in so you can take some time. They contacted me through that video,
yeah, I
and they
know.
told
I know.
yeah they told me that they try to help. They're trying to look for you guys, and I said, listen, I'll go down with you. Just let me know when you're coming down. They just told me out of nowhere we're here. Like they popped up on a Saturday. Like we're here. Like they drove 5 hours down
Yeah,
from.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
was like, I wish you would have told me yesterday. I would have got. I can't make it right now, but I can tell you we can find them.
Right,
And,
right,
and
right.
they yeah, right, and they went, they found you guys within a half hour. But then I got another text a half hour later saying, we got them, but we have an issue. I said, what's the issue? Brian doesn't want to go. And I said, you tell Brian that I said, remember all them talks he had with me that I gotta get my wife out of here. She's gonna die. We gotta do this together. Here's your fucking opportunity. You tell him that.
Yeah,
Half hour
yeah,
after that, they text me, Brian's in the van, we're on our way. And I
yeah,
was so happy, man. I was so happy. And I'm happy
yeah,
you looking
yeah.
good.
So what I was saying is I, in that video, I said, I guess it doesn't work out for addicts like us. Um,
Remember that. I remember that.
yeah.
I remember that.
So, but yeah, man, it was it's been a journey. It's been a good journey. Um, it was rough coming down here. I'm glad that I didn't know at the time that we were going to come down here and kick that vicious habit we had, cold turkey. Um,
They
you
didn't give
know,
you. They didn't give you meds. They didn't give you like feel good meds or nothing. Wow, you
no,
must be.
no,
Oh my god, you must have been going through it, man.
yeah, bro. I was in the hospital for I think 7 or 8 days. Um, so when we first went to the hospital, I remember like 20 hours in, and they had Britt in the very next room next to me, and she come over to the room and she's like, 20 hours in, we're already starting to feel like crap. And she said, "What are we gonna do?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Like, I don't know what to do." So then the doctor came in and I said, "Doc, are you guys going to give us methadone or Suboxone?" And he said, "I'm not authorized to prescribe that medication." And I looked at her, I shook my head, and he's like, "Well, you want to talk to somebody from psych?" And I said, "Yeah." So the psych doctor came down and I asked him, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not authorized to prescribe that medication." And he's like, "Do you feel like you're going to harm yourself or anything?" I said, "No." I said, "But like I'm sick. Like we have bad habits, and they didn't give us. I mean, they gave us, like 0.25 milligrams of Ativan like every 12 hours, which wasn't doing anything. But I think now that it's over with, I didn't sleep for over 2 hours for the first like 26 days. Um, but looking back on it, I wouldn't have wanted it any other way. You know, um, keeps it fresh in my head. You know,
Yeah, yeah. I just can't.
but
Well,
I'll tell you a funny story. I remember
uh,
um, one of the times I opened my eyes and like able to process what was going on when I was in the hospital. Um, I
I'm
woke
sorry.
up at 44 years old in a hospital gown and a diaper, and
Wow.
you know I looked up at my board and it said my nurse's name on there and everything, and in the bottom right corner where it said notes, it says enjoys hot sponge baths. So
Wow.
I don't remember it. So Britt,
Wow.
soon as she heard that, she's like, "You're lucky I didn't walk in there when they were giving you a
Right?
hot sponge
Yeah.
bath." I said,
I
"Babe,
can
I don't
imagine.
remember none of it. I don't even.
Wow.
It could have been a joke. I don't know."
Right.
But
So let me get this straight. The people that came and got you from Virginia, the so-called rehab place, they didn't give y'all medication. The rehab.
no. So at the Fix ministry, it's a Christian based recovery center,
Right.
um, and they don't allow any medications. Um, so a lot of psych meds you're not allowed to be on. Um, they give you, you know, what are them gummy things for sleep? I forget what it's called, but it's not a narcotic. It's not a prescription. Um, but yeah, so I
But Brian, what I don't understand is, I can see if it was just heroin, but the trank, the fentanyl, people go into seizures, and some people die from the withdrawal. And I think
right, right,
this is something they're going to see in the future, and they might change those policies. You know,
yeah.
because people
I
are
mean,
dying from it.
like like I said, I was in the hospital for the first 7 or 8 days I got down here.
You
So
see?
I was being monitored, stuff like that. I mean, there's no way I would have been able to do it in a treatment program for them
Right.
first 8 days. Um, but I mean, even after that, the sleep, um, like I said, didn't come back for after the first 26 days I had gotten to the program. Um, but they're not down here. They haven't dealt with the trank epidemic. Um, So, I had a open wound still on my leg, like a month and a half after I got down here. It wasn't very big, um, but I went to the hospital and asked them why it wasn't closing up, and they didn't. Only thing they did was prescribe me um, uh, antibiotics and sent me on my way. Um, but
So where are you right now in your recovery? Like 70%, 80%, 90%?
as far as how I'm feeling,
Yeah, how you feeling? Yeah, like strong.
oh, I feel great. I feel great. I'm up at 5:30 every morning. Work pretty much. every day. Today was the first day I've had off in probably 2 weeks straight. Um,
Wow.
you know, it feels good.
You keep them busy
Feels
though.
real good.
You keep
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
keep
You
'em
know,
busy.
I do Bible study every Wednesday or every Tuesday night. Um, go to church every Sunday. Today we're going to church. We're going back up. We got a friend of ours picking us up. We're going back up to the Fix Ministry, which is like 45 minutes to an hour away from where we're at. Um, so we're going up there for their service tonight. Um, we do outreach. Loading the vans up with food, taking them to different areas where we live at, handing out food to the homeless. You know,
That's
here comes Britt right now.
uh-oh.
She's actually
Uh-oh.
she's actually in the middle of women's Bible study.
Okay, that's good, man. That's
She
good.
came out to say hi.
I told you to get me.
What's up, Britt? How are you?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, I felt like I was disrespecting you last time with the camera off, so I made sure I turned the camera on.
Oh no, you're fine. I was like, do I get to see him more? Let's walk down because you can hear you in there.
Oh, sorry.
We're gonna walk down to the dock.
Yeah, take your time.
Yeah, so right now we're at our pastor's house.
That's
Britt,
It is beautiful here.
Britt has a Bible study, and I'm getting ready to help the pastor load the van up, so we can. They're starting a new church in Petersburg, so we're going down there to hand out some food and everything.
We're going down to the
Okay. I wish I could be there with you guys and hang out and do and hand out some food.
We're
But-
near we're near Busch Gardens and King's Dominion. You should come
Yeah,
down and we can
yeah.
go to
Yeah,
an amusement park.
we drove down there. We drove down to the Busch Gardens once already. It was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, we're like
Yeah.
I think we're like an hour away.
Okay.
No, we're not.
Uh,
We're not
yeah.
that
An hour way closer to Philly or farther away from Philly? Like
I
south.
have no idea.
We're in like Hopewell, like Chesterfield.
So
I don't know.
we're like 20 minutes away from Richmond.
Oh, okay. You're not far then. You're like 5.5 hours.
Yeah, yep.
You're about 5.5 hours. Yeah, because I used to drive to
Yep.
Richmond. My sister lived out that way.
Yeah, I took a Greyhound. I took a Greyhound to Philly from Richmond, and I left at Richmond at 10:50 and got back to Philly at 3:45.
Yeah, my sister lived in South Hill, Virginia. It's about 20 minutes from Richmond.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, so I think I know where you guys are at. Listen, I was asking him, where are you at in your recovery? Like how you feel in strength? 70, 80%, 90%?
Right now,
Yeah.
right now, honestly, like I feel like 100%. But like, what was it? Over 4. So like 2 months ago, I went back to Philly for
Oh,
5 days, and I overdosed 5 times. I woke up in the
wow.
ICU. And the pastor came out and he visited me in the hospital because he was supposed to pick me up. I didn't want to be in the ministry anymore. I didn't want to live separate from Brian. And we only saw each other like 3 times a week. It was really hard. So I ended up leaving and I went back out to Philly. But then I knew that Michael Moore was coming back out there. So I'm like, all right, well, I left on a Tuesday and he was coming back Friday, back to
And
Kensington.
where was Brian? Where was Brian during all this time?
He chose to stay here. He's like, I'm not watching you do that no more. If I go with you, you're going to be burying your husband. Like, I want no part of that life anymore. And I left him here. But I'm glad it worked out that way because we both would have been stuck down there again. I wouldn't have came back. And we probably both would have died because we would have did it at the same time and been dead under the bridge.
Right.
So, like, I feel like it all worked out.
Hey, Mike, real quick. I'm gonna hop off here. I gotta go.
I'm
load the
staying
van
on.
up. So Britt's going. But it was nice seeing you, bro.
God
Love
bless
you.
you, Brian. Thank you, man.
Keep
Love you
your head
too,
up.
man.
Love
Yeah.
Love you.
Thank you.
Um,
Yeah, y'all
But
gonna make
yeah,
me cry. I can't believe that how good you are doing.
I know. Oh my gosh, I was dying when I saw your video because I don't remember that video when he was like, "All right, Blues Clues, Inspector Gadget."
Yeah.
I was like, I
You
don't
were
remember
both
that
out of
at
it. Yeah, you
all.
were out of it. You were out of it. You were out of it.
I'm like, come to the store with me. He's doing something.
Yep.
Like,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
I
Yep.
am not like that normal.
I
Like,
said it. I picked up for you in the upload. I said, listen, guys, that's the drugs talking, man.
yeah,
they
it's
get paranoid, especially the
crazy.
coke gets you paranoid. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I do not miss it at all. But yeah, so I ended up overdosing 5 times, came back here because I left Brian here. So I came back and I wanted to be down here, but I didn't want to be in the home anymore. I wanted to be working, trying to get my kids back. Like, because at the ministry you can't work. Like you work, but you don't get paid, and it's
Right.
a lot of rules, and I'm not used to that. I'm used to being on the street, you know what I mean? But like we detoxed with nothing.
It's
They didn't
crazy.
give us Suboxone, they didn't give us
That's
methadone. We had to stop smoking cigarettes.
really. You don't smoke
Yeah,
now?
no, I started again once I left.
Like
But
I vape.
I vape too. I do both. But I was proud of myself though, because I'm like, if I can give up cigarettes, like I can do anything, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I told you that.
Um,
Yep.
And like Brian was really sick in the hospital. We got down here on a Sunday. I left the hospital on Tuesday because they weren't doing anything anyway. So I went to the women's home after 2 days of being here. So I was still withdrawing there. I was throwing up there. Um, but Brian stayed in the hospital for like 6 days. He was really bad. He
Yeah, you
just
sound
found out he has diabetes now.
what?
Yeah, type 2. I mean, I got him drinking diet soda because he's a big soda drinker. But yeah, like, and then when I got here, my groin was still cut open from surgery. Um, my groin healed up in like a week. Like the people at the ministry were like, "You're not normal. Like you're like superwoman." You know what I mean? Like just everything started falling together. Everything healed. Like I almost lost my feet out there. Like it's just crazy to think of like how we're living right now to how we were just living not too long ago. And
I was
I
there
was
with you. I saw you guys, man. I saw how you were.
yeah. And then I was just on the Lost in Kensington or Found in Kensington page, and I saw a post that my mom wrote. It's raining, saying how she don't know where we are. She hasn't talked to us, and like I was like crying reading that and reading like my mom's Facebook post saying like I don't know where my daughter is. Um, and like I can't even imagine. You know what I mean? Like we have 10 kids, and it's just a
Who got
shame.
10 kids? Who got 10
Me
kids?
and Brian.
Wait a minute. Wait. You got 2 kids? I thought you only had like 2 kids
I have 4, and he has 6.
from a different marriage.
He was never married.
Okay, separate.
But yeah,
I got it.
so altogether we have 10, and
Right.
I want to have a baby, but I got my tubes tied before I met him. But we have enough to work on. We gotta like we talk to our kids every day now. I don't let a day go by without me texting my kids because I don't want them to think something's wrong or they don't know where I am. I'm working on my mom and everybody else. But I mean, as long as I keep doing what I'm supposed to do, like no one can say anything. You know what I mean?
I told you that you can do whatever you want. Like,
And if they
yeah,
don't come around, then I don't need negativity anyway. You know what I mean? I don't need another person telling me 2 addicts can't do it. Like, you're not going to do it. We've been through this before. Like, look at me. I'm not even on nothing. Like, when I had clean time before, I was on Suboxone. So, like,
right.
I'm like actually like happy and at peace. And it's crazy. I'll start crying.
Yeah, I told you guys that in the street. A lot of people say the couples can't be put together in rehab. But when I said in your case with your husband, that you do everything together. If you die, you will probably die together. So if you got to get clean, you got to get clean together. And as long as you got air in your lungs, you just got a chance. I told you that
Yeah.
several
I was
times.
saying, like, I would never have came down here if we were going to be separate. And like for him, like he was with me through getting in guys' cars, doing all that, you know what I mean? And like for him to be like, listen, like forget everything in the past. Like God forgave me, like
Sorry.
he forgives me, and like we're just moving forward. Like we don't even bring it up, you know what I mean? And that takes a lot for a guy to do. Cause I know I couldn't like
Yeah.
be in that situation and watch everything that went down happen. Um
But the drugs
and just
has a big part of it.
oh yeah, it
Big
definitely
part of
does.
it. Yes,
Yeah.
big part. Yeah.
But just being on
So,
the other side, like we do church tonight, we're going to back to the fixed chapel. I'm doing their church service because we still talk to them. We're just not living with them. Uh, but yeah, so like every week we do church, we do Bible studies. We're always with somebody. They take us out to dinner, like Pastor Mike Moore took us out last night, and
that's
we do
awesome.
free food Friday, give back to the homeless. Today they were doing it's called OCC, Operation Christmas Child, and they put stuff in shoe boxes for kids across seas who don't have anything. So they just did all that
You got
today.
letters in there?
No, no one. So yeah, like we're constantly involved, and like it feels good being on the other side. Like I'm not the one waiting. I'm
All
not.
right, Mike. See you, brother. Love you, bro.
Love you too,
Keep
bro.
your head up.
Take care, bro.
Like being on the other side of it now, like not being homeless, waiting in the line for food. Like I'm able to like talk to them and give them hope and give them food and stuff. You know what I mean? Like it just feels good doing this. So
Now I want to go out there for the day and hang out with you guys and give food
you
out
have to, because
and
you were a big
document it.
part of it all.
Yeah, I want to plan a trip out there. How long you planning to be there where you're at? Like
So
as
all
long as
right,
it takes.
I'm planning on being here for a long time.
Yeah, as long as it takes.
Yeah, like my kids, especially my daughter, like she'll be 13. She's always like, when are you coming here? I haven't seen you. Like, but I don't want no temptations. Here I don't
Right.
have that, you know what I mean?
You got to recover first. You got to recover
Yeah,
first.
like even though I think I'm good in my head, obviously like anything can happen, and I just don't want to put myself through that. And plus we have a lot of love and support here. I don't have that back home the way I do here. So we're looking for like an apartment or a small house right now. Something, but
Don't rush it. Don't rush it.
yeah, yeah, I'm not.
Stay in recovery as much. Save your money. Stay in recovery as long as you can. Save your money up, and But what do you see yourself in 5 years from now?
Um, Honestly, what I really want to do is make a movie about my life and what me and Brian
Uh,
have been through, just so
Like a doc-
millions of people can
like a
get like hope
documentary.
from it.
Like a
Yeah.
documentary.
Mhm. Um,
Then you
but I
should
want to
talk.
work in the ministry.
Okay, I don't have the skills to do that, but I know someone that does. I don't know if you're familiar. Are you familiar with Mal from AML Films?
No, but the lady Rayanna was talking about Angel Productions. They did like Jesus Revolution and all that.
Right.
But no, I don't know who you're talking about.
Next, do you watch Kensington videos sometimes, like to catch up?
Every day.
Like, okay, well, it's called AML Films.
AML.
Yes, AML Films. His
Okay.
name is Mal. He is hundreds of thousands of subscribers. I met him a few times. He was on my
Hmm.
channel. I was on his channel. He's very good in doing stuff like that, editing. You know,
Okay.
he's real good. I'll email him and let him know to look out for you. You
Yeah,
know,
let me know.
yeah, he's probably watching. He'll probably watch this. You know, he watches some of my stuff. But yeah, I'll email and let him know. But yeah, he's better than
I
me.
just
And
want
telling you.
everybody to see, because I don't go on TikTok. I don't post videos like that. I mean, I have it, but I just don't do that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I have
yeah,
Facebook, I'm home,
right, right.
but I don't know.
You don't want to do YouTube like a pod and talk about your
Yeah, I
experience.
don't know how to like go about starting it or doing it. You know what I
I
mean?
mean,
Like I
I can
would
help
need.
you. I can help you. I think your channel will be successful. You know,
Yeah,
this kind of content brings a lot of subscribers out. It really
yeah,
does.
and
Um,
like I was just helping people that like the people that post pictures on Found in Kensington, that's what I was saying. So they if I saw people that like I knew, like I was messaging the family like where to find them, and like I just want everyone to get out. You know what I mean? Like it feels so good on this side. If everybody could experience this, and I was the first one to be like, I'm not, God ain't in my life. You know what I mean? Like me and Bri cried every night. Like, why is God letting this happen to us? Like, no, we're letting it happen to us. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I was just about to say that. Yeah. I was
Like
just
everyone has free will, but if you just follow like what the Bible says, like it does work. Like it does. You will have such a better future, and like I don't need to worry about today. Like everything's already planned out. All I got to do is that day be the best version of myself. That's it. It's easy.
Amen. Amen.
Like
And I
I
always say,
make it so hard. We complicate everything.
Brittany, I always say in my videos, the only person you have to be better than is the person you were yesterday. I always
Yep.
say that. But that's good. I like that what you said. I like that.
Yeah.
Have faith in the Lord. Have faith in the Lord and go forward. Don't forget about your past. Take 2 steps forward and just have faith in the Lord and continue doing what you're doing with the church. It's awesome. Now I'm going to plan a trip out there to help you guys give food to the homeless and with the church. I got to do that now.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Dude, let me show you real quick. Can I get in here? Hold on. All right, so
This is crazy.
this
I
is
hope you watch this replay. Go ahead.
this is the hangar. All right, so where my pastor lives, he like an airplane would fly into this. It's like
Look at
legit
that.
like a hangar place where airplanes can
Wow.
fly in. But
Wow,
look
that's
at this. Hold on, where's it?
Awesome.
I don't even know where light is. But look at all the food that they have here. All these are boxes of food.
Wow. Wow.
They
Look
just
at
had to
that.
buy a new freezer because they don't have enough freezer space. And he has a bunch of freezers. Like this is all the food we give out. And we give like they have like 4 different locations that they do it for.
All right, listen. I made up my mind. I'm planning a trip out there with my son Elias. He's 6 years old. We're gonna go help you give out food. Yeah, we're gonna we'll help you give out food.
Yeah, so I know that one of their frozen food fell through. So we're not going to have like all the frozen meats and stuff that we had. So I mean, I know that they're looking into getting business with other people. So if anybody knows anything in Virginia, if they can steer us in a direction where there's another food bank place we can get from, but yeah, I don't know. I know it'll all work out.
I want you to meet my son. I want you to meet
Yes,
my son.
I
He's
know.
awesome. He always want to help and give to the homeless. So I'm definitely bringing him. We got to do this together.
Yes.
I'll document if they allow me to document it. I'll document it, and maybe I'll interview you and Brian out there.
Yeah, definitely.
Because listen, a lot of my subscribers.
Do you know how we got here? Because of your video.
I know. That's why my subscribers are interested in your life. They've been asking about you all the time. Where's Brian and Brittany? Or how they doing? How they doing?
Yeah, they came out there the one day, and Brian was kind of hesitant. He's like, "No, I'm not going." I'm like, "We need to go somewhere." I'm like, "It's Virginia. It's going to be beautiful. It's 6 hours away. We can't get right back."
They got to. They got to.
Like,
go ahead. Huh? Go ahead.
No, like Brian's like, "I got to talk to my kids." I'm like, "You haven't talked to them in 3 years. We're going." And they brought us to Rock Ministries, and we went to detox at B Wellness Center for a week. Well, we left, and they came back down to find us, but it was raining. We must have been under the bridge, so they didn't find us. They went back to the detox, and he was like, "Listen, I'm looking for a couple, Brittany and Brian." And they're like, "You're not going to find them. That's like a needle in a haystack in Kensington. You're not going to find this specific couple." He's like, "My God's going to find them." Comes all the way back to Virginia. They pray about it. Someone that night found your video where I did the interview, Googled Earth it, left at 4:30 in the morning, and that's how they found us, because of your video.
Let me tell you my story. What happened? They contacted me about that video and asked me if I can help them find you guys. I said, "Let me know when you come down, and I'll go." They hit me up on a Saturday morning. "We're here." I said, "No, you were supposed to let me know ahead of time. I can't go, but I can tell you where you can find them, where I always find them." And they found you guys. But they called me back up and said, "Brian don't want to go." And I was like, "You tell Brian that I said, remember all them stories you told me that I got to help my wife? She's going to die out here. Well, this is your
Yep.
effing opportunity, man. Go save your wife and yourself. And
Yep.
they told me that they're in the van and they're on the way to Virginia. And I was like, I was so
Yeah,
happy.
one of you can watch it on Beacon Hill Church. I think it's a web. It has to be a website, but they post them and the Fixed Ministry. They both post their sermons, and like on the Fixed Ministry, you can watch a video of me and Brian being baptized together.
What's it called?
Um,
Beacon Hill?
Beacon Hill is the church where Pastor Michael Moore is, the one that you have talked to.
Okay.
They send people to the Fixed Ministry because they are the ones who have the men and women's home and the program.
Is it
So that's where we went. The FIX
it's
ministry.
it's in Virginia, right? The
Yeah.
Beacon Hills is in Virginia?
Yes.
Is West wait. I'm looking for it now. On Beacon Hill. I got it here. Say I just put Beacon Hill Church and I'll search later because I don't want
Yeah.
to.
So it's a Sunday morning because that's when we got picked up. St. Patty's Day. It was a Sunday, and Pastor Michael Moore is doing his sermon, but he's like, we're waiting for Brittany and Brian right now. We're waiting to see if Brittany's going to get on the bus. Like, it's talking about us, like, in his sermon down here. And, like,
Right.
when we came down here, like, everybody knew us. You know what I mean? Which is crazy to me. Like, why we don't matter. You know what I mean? And, like, people come up and, like, hug us and cry. And they're like, we're so thankful you're here. You know what I mean? Like, your testimony helps us so much. And, like, on the Fixed Ministry page, I had to do like a 2-minute testimony on it, and like I'm crying in it. Like, it's just crazy, like how amazing our lives are today.
So I'm so proud of you, Brittany. I really am, and I'm sure everybody that's watching now and is going to watch the replay are happy too. And they asked
Thank
about you
you.
a lot. They really did. They really cared. You know, they know what happened to you guys, but they didn't get the ending of it, and they're finally hearing it for the first time. And I
And
just hope
that's what I
it
want.
stays like this. Yeah, hope it
Like,
stays
that's
like.
the whole purpose. Like, I feel like that's my calling. Like, when I went back to Kensington those 5 days, I'm wearing a Beacon Hill hoodie, and on the back of it, it says Neighborhood Hope Dealer. So I'm wearing this as
Oh,
I'm getting high at the
yeah,
time.
yeah,
But
right.
I'm
Yeah.
like telling everybody, like, you're loved, get off these streets. Come on, trying to get all my friends to come with me down here. And I'm like, I felt more of a high doing that than I did the 5 times I got high. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I see a bright future in you. I think you're going to be a counselor.
Thanks.
I think so. But
I
do it
hope.
in your community. Stay away from Kennison. Do it in your community.
Yeah.
There's
I'll do
drugs
it
all
from
over the
afar.
world. Yeah, there's drugs all over the world and people need help. You know, so you got a brain on
And
you
they
that you can help.
travel. Like,
Yeah,
they go to Florida, they go everywhere and do
yep.
ministry work. You know what I mean? Just Kensington, like,
No,
is
some go to
the
South America. Some go to South
worst
America.
spot. Yeah, there's people in India right now.
Mhm.
Like, people go all over the world, and like we're gonna go with Michael Moore to Jacksonville, Florida. I think he's going in September and going down to those streets. He said it's not really like Kensington, it's more like homeless people, but not like the big drug part of it that
Right.
Kensington is.
Yeah, yeah. I got a brother in Jacksonville, same father. Yeah, I've been to Jacksonville. It's pretty cool. Eagles lost the Super Bowl there, but that's okay. We won it in 2018.
Well, last
Um,
time we were in Florida, we were homeless for a week because we missed our flight because I ended up at a crack hotel. So
wow.
it'll be the first time we go to Florida and we're on like the better side of it.
So have you and Brian been watching movies? Like sitting back watching
um,
movies?
I mean, a little bit,
A little bit?
not,
You
not
know?
really.
There's a lot of good movies out there about addiction, you know.
Well, we're going to go see Sound of Hope.
That's a
Um,
Christian movie, right?
yeah. So at the
Yeah,
ministry, you could
Sound of
only
Hope.
watch. You could
Right,
only watch Christian stuff. You could only
right.
listen to Christian music.
Mhm.
Um, there's this guy, Oliver Anthony. He's from Virginia. But he comes to Beacon Hill Church and he's on YouTube. He's like I think he's coming. Well, I don't know. I can't say. But he has land out here, and he just had like a summer camp for like kids for Beacon Hill to go there. But he has a good song. And he's like a Christian singer. But I think, what is it? Northmen of Richmond.
How do you feel when you watch yourself in them videos? How do you feel?
Um, Sad and embarrassed. But I'm trying to embrace that. Like, I'm trying to, because I know I embarrass my family a lot by saying the things I said, and my kids have seen it. Kids at school have seen it, and they're not nice.
All right,
Um,
I gotta ask you an important question, and
mhm.
I'll leave it up to you. You want me to take them down? I'll take them down.
Oh no, I'm not even talking about like your videos. I'm
No,
talking about in general.
no, I'm
No,
talking
no,
about
no,
the videos
because
on my
that's
podcast.
my
If you don't
story.
want nobody to see them, I'll take them down.
No, because that's part of this whole process.
Okay.
For everybody to see where I came from to where I am now.
Right.
And that's the whole point. You know what I mean? Um, and you can like I don't regret any of it. Like I had to be broken down,
You learn
go
from
back
it.
out, broken down
You learn.
again
Yeah.
for me to like have this gratitude that I have and to never want to go back down there. You know what I mean? Like I've had years of addiction, and it wasn't until these last 3 years being homeless, all my nevers came true. Every bad thing that can happen to a person has happened, but like I can use all that for God's glory. You know what I mean?
You know what else you can do, Britt? I've done this
And it
before.
makes you stronger.
Yes, of course. Get a empty book, like a blank book, right? And
Hmm.
one side you write about everything that's going good in your life right now, and then on the other
I do
side
that.
you write everything bad about Kensington, and you start comparing the two. You'll never go back. You'll never go
I
back.
know.
Yeah.
Like
You'll
I
never.
never really played the whole tape out. Like I'm a person that like when I have an idea in my head, I'm doing it. Like they went the day I left, like the pastor and everybody like had me all day long, like praying with me, like saying, just give it to God, let him take it. And like I'm stubborn. Like, no, once I have a thought in my head, like I do it. But like now, like things have happened. I'm still trying to get in my boys' life, fighting with their baby dad, but like I know that if I go back, I'll never get to see them. I'll never get to like get my family back. And that's what I'm like striving for. That's why I'm doing all this. Like not only for the peace for myself and my marriage, but like for our kids and our parents. Like I don't want them to worry anymore. Everybody's getting older. Our kids are growing up and we missed way too much of their lives.
Life's too fast.
Yeah.
Way too fast. Oh,
Yeah.
I-
And like every day, like I give my daughters good advice and like I'm like, oh, we're going to church. You need Jesus. Like saying stuff my aunt would say to me, and I'd be like, okay. But like, it's true. Like being able to tell my daughter, like, I know you're fighting with Mimi, which is my mom, but I'm like, give her a hug, say thank you. Like that can change her day and your day. You know what I mean? Just giving good advice, not just being their friend, still being their friend, but you know what I mean? Like trying to make them look at other people's point of views or what they're going through or like the hurt someone has. Like you might be hurt, but it'll make you feel better. Like if you kill them with kindness, you know what I mean?
you know, I'm, it's like I believe what's happening because I always say if you have faith in the Lord, it's possible. But I just the way my life went with drugs and selling it and using it, I just can't believe this moment is happening that I actually help someone. You know,
Yep.
and I'm glad you hit me up because nobody ever gives me updates. Nobody ever contacts me back. Hey, Linda's doing great in the street. You know, I don't know what happened to Linda or nothing, but you hit
Right.
me back up, and I'm grateful for that, and I
Because
thank
I love you.
you. Yeah, I love you too, and I'm just proud of you guys, man. You know,
Thank
there was times
you.
that I saw you guys. I mean, I spent in like 6 hours in your tent when I was doing Sleep in the Streets of Kensington Part 5, and I went live also in your tent. Um, and at 3 o'clock in the morning, I left. I couldn't take it no more. My ass was freezing. And I remember on the ride back on the train, I said to myself, how can they do it? I couldn't take it anymore. I was freezing. I remember the little hand sanitizer you used to put in the wick, like the
Yeah, and the alcohol and the sterners. Oh, I do not forget that. Like, thank God I have air conditioner and I don't need heat right now, but like I have a roof over my head. I have TV I can watch. We got phones. We have 3 phones right now. We went from having no phones.
It's crazy, man. It's
Like
awesome.
Brian works every day. I'm like, babe, I didn't even know you work. No, I'm just kidding. But like, you know what I mean? Like it's following him by example. And like he didn't leave the program. He stayed here because he said, I don't want your family being disappointed in me anymore. Like I'm supposed to lead by example. And he does every day. Like we pray before our meals, which like I'm working on it because you know what I mean. But like he prays for us before we even eat. Like I cook him breakfast, have his lunch made for work, like doing my what I used to do. Like it feels good just being normal.
It does. It does. I know exactly what you're going through. Well, I can't say that because I was never out in the streets, Kansas like that. But
You are every day, Mike.
yeah,
You are every day.
yeah. But I've been an addict, so I know. But wow, it's awesome just to hear. I'm sure
I
everybody's
just
on
want
the
everyone to know, like, it is possible. Like,
yeah.
especially coming from me and Brian, who like didn't like Brian didn't even grow up in like a church background. Like I grew up Catholic, but I never understood it. Like I might have did my sacraments, but just because I had to. Like today I chose to do it. And I am understanding it. You know what I mean? Like actually reading the Bible. I've never read a Bible in my life until I came down here.
It's the most popular book in the world. Yeah,
Yeah, I saw something said like 166,000 copies get sold daily.
yeah. It's the number one bookseller of all time. Of all time.
That's crazy.
Forget about Wes Craven and forget about those guys that write books. The Bible's number one. You know.
Yep.
Yeah. But, wow. I mean, I'm just lost for words, man. Because I usually don't get this. I usually don't get this kind of treatment. I
Yeah.
try to help people as much as I can. They promised to update me, but they only told me one time. I think it was the day after. They're eating steak. They're fine right now. They're doing good.
That
They're
was
good.
the day we came
Yeah,
down there, I think.
right. That was the
Yeah.
day. But I haven't heard ever since. And my people, keep asking, whatever happened to Brittany and Brian? I'm like,
So being in the ministry, we weren't with them like that. Like they would come, like Michael Moore came and helped baptize us, because we asked them to. Brian's parents came down for it. And Rhiannon and Jeff, who are from Beacon Hill Church, they have done everything for us, everything. And they would come and see us on potluck and like Saturdays, sometimes once a month they would come. But at the ministry, we couldn't have phones. We didn't have anything like that. So I wasn't able to even try and get a Facebook until I left there. So
you got 3 phones now.
I
I'm
know.
over. Yeah,
And
I'm over.
oh my gosh, I was in jail
Who was in
down
jail?
here.
You?
Me.
What you do?
Yeah,
What happened?
because so when I went back to Kensington for those 5 days, I came back and I was here for 2 days and I didn't want to be in the women's home. Like I don't know why no one listened to me. I said the only way I'll come back to Virginia is if I stay with Michael Moore and get jobs and be like still be involved, but I'm not going back to the ministry. I'm not doing it. And not that I owe them a lot, you know what I mean? It's just I can't. I don't know. I didn't like it. I didn't like being away from Brian. I didn't like all the
Did you
rules.
be honest? Did you bring anything back? I know you did.
No, no.
I did.
Actually, how I
When I
got
did it,
back.
I did. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. See how I got back. I wouldn't do that to the girls anyway.
No,
But
for
no, when I
yourself.
got.
No, for yourself. For yourself.
Oh no, because I was half asleep. One of the guys drove me back. He was actually like one of my peoples, and
Right.
he drove me all the way back down here. He punched me in the face. I
Wow.
am, yeah, my face was all swollen, my lip was swollen.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't talked to him, but
But why do you do
so
that though? Why? Why do you do that?
because we were in Wendy's and I ordered the wrong thing. I said I wanted like the number 6, but I really meant the combo, and they
Right.
gave me the number 6. So at the line, I'm like, no, like I want this, and he's like, you'll eat what they give you, and he's like, you'll be out there sucking dick and whatever, all this stuff,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm like, well, it's better than you, and he punched me in the face.
wow. And still
Yeah.
gave you a
So
ride. And still gave you a ride.
it was when we got here, when I was waiting for them to
Oh,
meet me in the parking lot.
wow, wow.
Yeah. But so I slept the whole time. I actually OD'd for the last time at his house. And he was at work and came back 2 hours later, and I was like dead on his floor, and he brought me to Frankfurt, well, what is it? Frankfurt Hospital? Is it
Frankfurt.
Jefferson now or something? On
No,
Kensington Ave. And
no, it's Frankfurt, Frankfurt,
yeah,
Frankfurt.
but I think they're like are merging it with Jefferson or something. I don't know.
Probably. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, probably.
So I woke up there on a Narcan drip. I was there for like 24 hours. But when I got released from the hospital, he picked me up and he's like, you're not doing nothing. You're going right to Virginia. So he drove me all the way down here.
Wow.
But
It was
now I
nice
forget
of him
what
besides the punch. Besides the punch, I guess it was
yeah.
nice for him to drive. It's a 5-hour drive. I drove a few times.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, so when I came back here, I didn't want to be in the house. They tricked me. I thought I was going and being with like Michael Moore and Rayanne and stuff. Well, no, the fixed people were there with them. So I went with them. And the next day I'm back at it. I don't want to be there. You know what I mean? Like I didn't want to stay in Virginia. I wanted no parts of being at that house anymore. And so Brian, they took me to the hospital because I was all swollen and I had a really bad infection in me and my lymph nodes were enlarged. I almost had a stroke. Now I'm on blood pressure medicine. Yeah, it's crazy. So Brian was like, do whatever you got to do to keep her here. I'm not burying my wife. Like 302 her, call the cops on her because I had warrants. So that's what they did. They called the cops on me and they ran my name. I'm facing a DUI in Philly because I rear-ended a cop, and I have other charges in Delaware County. So they kept me for 40 days in Henrico County Jail.
40.
And I did 4 days my whole life. I'm so not jail. Like I can't do it.
40
But it was
days.
a wake up call. Like I
Oh,
won't even like steal anything. I won't do anything bad. I won't jaywalk around here. But that's when I started reading the Bible again. And I read my Bible, like I pretty much read the Bible from front to back. I haven't read like a couple of them, like a couple of different books in it, but yeah, and it changed me, like, you know what I mean? Like
so
I,
that's why you guys didn't hit me up sooner. And I
yeah,
said that you needed time to recover. All this is
yeah.
part of that. It's a
But
part
not
of
even that, we couldn't because we didn't have a phone.
Oh, okay, yeah. But still it takes months for this to recover to take shape, you know.
Yeah. So like we got down here March 17th. So Brian's been clean since then. Um, I've been clean except for those 5 days I went back out. But I've been back here 2 months now.
Wow. Oh man. I put AML Films link up there. If anybody's
Okay.
watching who don't know who AML Films is, go check them out. Go sub them up. But I put the link up there because I want you to check out his channel, and I'm going to email him and let him know about you guys. I really don't know if he does documentaries, but I know he has good work.
Okay.
So yeah, he's real good in editing, and he has more fans than me. So if you want to get your story out, it'll get out with his. He has 2 channels with 500,000 subscribers.
Okay.
So yeah, he can help you guys out. I wish I can do it. I just don't know how to do it. I wish I did. All I do
Yeah,
is
I'm not big on that. I had to have Brian set this phone up.
walk down Kensington with a little Osmo camera, and then I edit it and put it up. That's all I'm
Yeah,
to
but
do.
you don't know how much that means to people. You know
I
what I
was
mean?
told I was told that many times. Yeah, I was told that,
Like
and it makes me
just
feel good.
people like that even give out food that go and show your care because a lot of people don't have families
Mhm.
or have no one and think they're worthless. You know what I mean? Like having somebody actually tell you you matter and you care and I'm here to help you, like means so much more than you'll ever realize.
Hmm.
So
That's
thank you.
interesting. Yeah. So, all right. So And just in case there's teenagers watching, what message do you have for them about your experience?
Like I said, like I don't I wouldn't wish addiction on my I don't have any enemies because I'm but like on my worst enemy, you know what I mean? Like and I understand that feeling. Like I had nothing. I was at my rock bottom. And just know like if you go out there, like it's so easy to get stuck. You know what I mean? Like you might think you're going down there just to cop and go, but like that's what I did at first. You know what I mean? Like I would drive down them streets and me and Brian would be like, how do they leave their kids? How are they homeless? Well, not too long after we were in the same boat. Whether I would never want to not have my kid, but I feel like when you lose everything, like we lost our house, our cars, our family, our kids, that kept me out there. You know what I mean? Like, because I said, F it, who cares? I don't have nothing. Why am I trying? I'm only hurting myself. Nobody cares about me. And, but looking back on it, like, I hurt my kids, you know what I mean? And like, if I could take it all away and like just, I would, but just don't go out there. Like no drug is going to make you feel better. It might at the moment, but and half the people when you do it, you're going right to sleep. So you're not fixing your problems. Nothing's getting accomplished. You're just digging yourself deeper and becoming more lost and hopeless and miserable. And like I would never want to go back to that life. It's not worth it. And there's a better way. Like I'm here with water behind me. Like I'm not under a bridge with trash.
Yeah.
Um,
Try
walking
fishing.
the street.
Go fishing. It's fun. Go fishing.
I know Brian loves fishing.
Reminisce with him. Talk and just be blessed at where you're right now. And just talk with him. Get some time alone with him. Go fishing with him. I know you might not like fishing. Women don't like it that much. But
Oh,
you
I'll
guys
do
have a lot.
everything with them.
In reality, you guys have a lot to talk about. Trust me. If you
Yeah,
sit alone with him by the lake and fish, you'll realize, wow, we have a lot to talk about. You know,
he's like my best friend.
yeah, I
Like,
know that. I
and
know.
my daughter, it's funny, my daughter only hears negative things by like my family. Like, two addicts can't do it. He's a piece of crap. Look at what your mom had to go through. Like, first off, I would do what I had to do for anybody I love, and I was doing it for myself too. He
Right,
was an addict before I met him. I was an addict before I met him.
right.
But like, so we talked to my daughter for like an hour, and you know what she said? She said, Brian, I like you, or I hate you a little less. I was like, that means she loves you. She's 16.
Okay.
But
You
like,
guys,
so then the other day
go
she
ahead.
texted and she was like, Mom, Brian, anyone. And he was like, she wrote my name. Like, just, I don't know. It just feels good. Like, because I know everyone's going to come around. And like, if you do the right thing, first off, it don't matter. You know that you're doing good. And
Right,
that
right.
piece, like,
That's
man
it.
will fail you. You know what I mean? Like,
That's what
at the
matters.
end of the day, all that matters is your relationship with God. He's the only one that can judge you. It don't matter what anyone thinks. But as long as we know that like our side of the street's clean and we're doing what we got to do and we're happy, like everyone else will see that and they'll have to come around. I hope.
You know, you know what you guys remind me of? The movie I was talking about last night. Back to Black. Amy and
Back to
Blake,
black.
Amy Winehouse and her husband Blake. How they
I
were
didn't even know
addicts.
she was married.
Yeah, she got married to Blake, and they were addicts. And you know what happened to her, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, it's called Back to Black. You got to watch it.
Oh, okay.
It's an
All
awesome
right.
movie. Yeah,
Yeah, look
but
it up.
but in your case, you're still here, so it's better results. But
Yeah.
let's talk about the addiction part of the relationship. She couldn't live without him, and he couldn't live without her. She understood his addiction; he understood hers. She always said that. She said that he was her husband reminded her of a male of herself, like not. She's a female, so a male version of herself. That's
Yeah,
what
that's
she.
how we are.
Yeah, right. So that's why I said you have a lot of comments in it, but thank God your story's a little better. But check it out. It's called Back to Black. That
Yeah,
it was
definitely
named
will.
after it was named after her first album, Back to Black. Then she
Okay.
had She had the Rehab album. But yeah, check it out. It's a great movie. But
Yeah, I will.
make sure you have your tissue box ready because it's very emotional.
I'm
Very
not a
yeah.
crier, but I'll tell you what, I'm so much more emotional now.
Yes,
Like
yes.
Brian used to
When
cry.
you're in recovery, you're emotional now. But when you was an addict yourself and you watch these kind of stories, it brings you back and you start to get emotional.
Right.
And that's what it did to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I cry over watching everything.
And the love they had for each other, it was like they were the only ones in the world.
Yeah, well, that's what I was like. I don't want to be living separate. Like we were together on the streets all the time. And like Brian put it like in a good way. Like we were together every day, but we weren't like we are. Like we might have always slept together at night, but like we really didn't. We didn't hold each other like we used to. I was out running around trying to get money all day. Like we weren't together. You like if you get what I mean.
Right, I understand.
Like
Yeah, I understand.
now we're back to like being together, and like my daughter was like asking about like affection and like talking about her boyfriend and stuff, and I'm like, you know what I mean, like you shouldn't have to ask somebody, you shouldn't have to work at it, you know what I mean, like a real
Right,
love, you don't have to work at it, like you always put them first,
right.
you don't
Oh,
fight, and like I know everyone's different, you know what I mean, but like that's how we are. Like we don't fight ever. When we're on the street, we're vicious.
I remember. I used to tell you, Brittany, you tripping. Remember, I said
I
you.
know. And you know
I
what's
said,
funny?
stop it.
Every
No,
person
you
was
know, you know, you know what got. Listen, you know what got me when you told me. I said, why'd you move under the bridge? You didn't tell me why, but Brian said because she thinks I want them women up there, so she moved her tent to under the bridge. I was like, you gotta be kidding me, man. I couldn't believe you told me that. That's the reason why you moved from the street to under the bridge with a traction wrap because you didn't want them next to the
well,
girls.
not even that. Our stuff got
Oh,
stolen all the time. Like you
her-
can't fall asleep and have your stuff there when you wake up.
tell everybody the story about the quad.
The quad.
The quad. They were riding the quad. The motorcycle's over your tents, and he pulled
Oh
you
my
back.
god.
Remember? He pulled you
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. So we
You
were it was when we first were out there. We were only out there for a month because that's when I got my foot infection. But we had our tents all lined up on Lehigh Avenue. So it's one night, everyone's just like out hanging around. Well, we had a queen size mattress in our tent and we're laying there and he hears, well, first he sees a headlight and then he hears the bikes revving and he throws me over to the side. So now we're like almost like going towards the wall and a quad ran right through our tent and they were trying to like run people over. Thank God he did that because I don't know what we'd be looking like right now if that
how about
happened. But
how about this one? Last one. Tell everybody about the body you found.
oh my gosh. So, well, first off, the reason I know what a decomposing smell is because under the bridge, they were, me and Brian were standing there. I'm like, what is that smell? Because people do poop and pee, whatever down there. So, like,
Different
but it's
smell.
not that, it is a different smell. So, I was like, what is that smell? We walk over to this bag, it's a trash bag. And I'm like, open it. What's in it? It was a dead dog. They kept throwing dead dogs in trash bags over the fence.
Mm.
So that's how I knew the smell. So I'm walking down the street, going towards Kensington Ave, but up by the bridge. So the
The
very
Rocky,
first
the Rocky
bridge.
Bridge. The Rocky Bridge. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So the very first one, not the Howard and Gurney one, the first one.
Right. Right.
Um, so I'm walking by and I start smelling that smell. I'm like, oh my gosh, what is that? So I look behind the guardrail as it goes around the corner and you can it's a, I guess, fetal position body. You can see the ripped jeans, like you could see his knees, and he's wrapped in a big comforter and he has a trash bag over his head. So I go over and like look close because I'm like, is that seriously a body? Like I had no idea what it was. I never seen a dead body like that before. So I like lift up the comforter a little bit and there's maggots all over it, blood everywhere. I never opened the head or nothing like that. Um, but yeah, that was my first
And
besides
you
seeing
and
my first husband
Brian.
overdose, but
Brian
that
said
was
he
my
saw
first.
you. Brian said he saw you running from the bridge screaming.
Yeah, I'm like, someone call 911 because I didn't have a phone anyway at the time. But um, only like 3 or 4 cops came, and when I did my interview in the Sixers outfit, someone I guess called the cops saying there was an altercation, someone was fighting. No lie, like 10 cop cars pulled up while I was doing an interview. Nothing happened. Nobody was arguing, and I'm like, more cops came for that than the dead body I just found. Like it was crazy to me.
That's how it is. That's how
It
it is.
is like.
I,
I've
yeah.
seen them walk and just kick someone's foot to see if they're alive. Like, watch me Narcan. I'm like, this is your job, but I'll do it for you. Don't worry. Like, what?
People
Crazy.
think I pick. People think I pick on the police down there when I criticize their work. Like, oh, I'm just being a bully, picking on them. Like you've been down there. Cops don't give a shit, do they?
No, oh my! Did I tell you the other time? So Brian's hitting me in
Come
my
on,
neck,
I want to
right?
hear. I want to hear this. Come on, come on.
All right. So Brian's hitting me in my neck. Cops ride by. So I'm like, oh my God, there's cops right there as the needle's still sticking out of my neck. The cop stops really fast, reverses. I had to jump out of the way. The cop almost hit us. And they were like, what's on your neck? Well, I thought they were talking to me because he was just shooting me up. No, they were talking to Brian. They wanted to see his tattoo because apparently it was a couple they were looking for, and he looked exactly like the guy who killed somebody. And he's like, listen, like their family's after them and you look exactly like them. He's like, the only difference is you don't have the same tattoo, but be careful. And the dude's name was Brian, I think. Isn't
Wow.
that weird? Yeah.
And that was in Kensington.
It was right on the other side of the bridge, but the second bridge, right against that wall, where that other
Close.
building is?
Yeah, at the U-Haul building. The big U-Haul
No,
building.
no.
So
So, like,
go
where we hung on
going
the
towards
other
A
side,
Street.
going
Yeah,
towards Kip and Cambria. Yep.
right. Front Street. Going towards front.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I know you're
Yeah,
talking about.
right there along that fence we were standing, and they backed up and almost hit us.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that
they
was your
didn't, so
area.
they didn't even say nothing about me being shot up in the neck. They only
They
said
don't.
something
They
to
don't.
look at his tattoo.
They don't. But Britt, do you agree with me if they want the addicts out of there? Because there's a lot of cops here now. And they're like trying to keep walking, waking people up. All you got to do is get rid of the drugs, man. Start locking up dealers, and just if you don't
Yeah,
want them
but
here,
they
get rid of the
do.
problem.
They do though. Like I've been there through raids all the time, but another one comes right in.
They make
You know
money
what I
off
mean?
it.
Like another drug dealer will always show up.
Britt, you know
And
what a
that's why
girl?
a lot of times they have us drug deal. You know what I mean?
You know what a
Or be
girl
looked
told me?
out.
You know what a girl told me down there? It's hard to believe, but I won't be surprised if I seen proof. She said that the city rents out Kensington to the drug dealers.
Oh, I'm not surprised. And really the
Yeah,
top people in there are on the street. Like you wouldn't know that they are. You know what I mean? You wouldn't even know that they're a dealer. They just chill like everyone else. Um, But yeah, I mean, I think it's all like, yeah, the new mayor came in and is trying to make a name for herself, trying to clean
she
it
ain't
up. And
doing
like,
shit.
I'm
She ain't
going to,
doing nothing.
yeah, like it's just going to be moved. It's going to move. They'll move a block down. You know what I mean? But like,
See, I've
I
been
go
saying
there.
that, Brittany. I've been saying that.
I, yeah. And really, the people are still on the same blocks. Cause when I went back down, and this was months after the new mayor came on and was trying to fix it up, the same blocks were still there. So it's not like, they
They
might have
cleaned
cleaned
one.
up Allegheny and stuff, but like
That's what
they're
they did.
still there.
They cleaned one block from Kensington and Allegheny to Cliff. What's the next block? Lippincott. Is it I think it's Lippincott. One block. That's it.
Lippincott,
Yeah. They,
Wishart.
they took all the tents off the pavement and cleaned the block, and that was it. They didn't do
Yeah.
Somerset. They didn't do Tioga. They didn't do Needle Park. They didn't do none of that. None of it.
Did
Um,
Brian tell you about when it was like probably like the last week we were there? One of the he was probably like 18, a dealer at Huntington Station, got shot in the head. And Brian was like holding his head. He had a hoodie on, was like holding him in his arms and about to like walk him to the hospital. And then cops showed up and he put him in the back of the cop car. I think the guy died though.
he was
But
a
yeah, he
dealer.
was a dealer. Yeah, it was. I guess the Spanish guys and the black guys have been battling. I don't know. But he thought I was over there, so he ran up and he was like screaming my name, but I wasn't even anywhere around. I showed up after the fact, but he was like, blood was all over my hands, like, and he said the kid like kept just going like that with his arm, and like his eyes were like rolling in the back of his head. But someone said that he died. I don't know if that's true.
Brett, you don't know how lucky you are to be alive. I mean,
I
God's been protecting you. I don't know if you heard the stories, but there was a lot of serial killers down there picking up girls like yourself
Yeah.
and killing them and dumping their bodies. There was a few of them down there. And my oldest daughters, their mother just got shot in the back of the head down there.
Some guy pulled a gun out on me and took his money back. Like the
Really?
last week I was there. Yeah. Because I never
Wow.
even like shot a gun. I never held a gun, you know what I mean?
Eh,
And like I'm like, why are you going right here? Like he pulled down like this little street. I'm like, that's not the way to get back. And like I don't think, you know what I mean? Like I'm so naive. That's why I don't know how I lasted that long out there. Um, like even when I got jumped, Brian was like, that should have been a red flag. Why would you go with them? And I'm like, because no one's gonna hurt me. I'm nice. Yeah, no, that don't matter out there.
so you was never scared.
Oh no, I was like I've been raped and strangled. I had to run naked all the way down towards Dow Avenue, back to where back to Jasper Street after being raped. Like I've been through a lot of close calls. Remember I told you I got raped under the bridge while I was sleeping and like just being jumped out there. And someone like pulled a knife out and I ran up from being jumped. Like my face was horrible. I got maced. Um, the one time me and Brian, I asked someone about tent poles. Don't ever do that because apparently knives will come out. They
What is that?
chased us.
What is that?
I tent like a tent. Our tent was taken down,
Oh,
and I didn't know
temple.
if it was still
Okay.
there. So this girl and this guy were pushing shopping carts with tent poles. So I was like, "Hey, where'd you get them tent poles?" I didn't say like, "Oh, you stole my tent." I just asked her a question. They pulled out knives in the middle of Kensington Ave, coming at us, and like I never been in like a fight, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I'm macing them. Um, and then some car out of nowhere starts videotaping it. He pulls up to the light we're at. Then he turns around and starts driving after me and Brian. So me and Brian are running down the street. The one street wouldn't help us, and Brian worked on that street for them. And then we run down to the other street while the car's chasing us with a gun. And he hops on one of the other dealer's cars, and they ride down the street with Brian on the hood of it. Brian
what?
falls off. Yeah, and they're still trying to run us down on the street. And then they stop in front of where Brian fell, and Brian tries like getting under this fence, but he couldn't. And the passenger of the car was like, "Shoot this mother effer," and pulls out a gun, but they didn't. Like I don't know why they didn't. And then they drove away. It was the craziest thing ever, and nobody would help us. Like those were 2 blocks that we've worked for. Like that's where we hung out, and like not one of them people would help us. Like that just shows you like people in Kensington don't have your back as much as you think they do.
They
Like they
think
could
for
be your
themselves.
friend,
Yeah.
they only want something from you. You know what I mean?
I tell my
Um,
subscribers that all the time that Kensington is really, really bad. And what
yeah,
I do is very dangerous. I got trolls telling me I need to find a job. They think what I do is not a job. What I do is a job, and it's very dangerous what I do
it
out
is
there.
very dangerous
Yeah,
out there.
very dangerous. But
Because
see,
you
I
don't
don't.
even need to be involved in nothing and get involved in something. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it happened to me many times filming, and I don't like editing things out. I like to show what we go through. But usually a
Right.
YouTuber on Kensington don't edit that stuff out. I try not to edit it out. I want everybody to see what we go through. You know,
Well, it's funny. Here in Virginia, they're like, oh, this is the project. They're all like, be careful. We're in a bad area. And I'm like, no, we're not. We're not in a bad area.
wow,
Please.
wow. Um, so um, when I was getting high, and I will go through North Philly or Kensington, I was so high that the gunshots I hear around me wasn't doing no effect because I was so numb to my
I never
surroundings.
knew if it was a firework or a gun
I was talking about that 2 weeks ago.
or the
Around
backfire of the cars.
see, guys, I'm not lying to you guys. Anyway,
No.
yeah. So, but when I was clean, and I was going to Kensington, I was a lot nervous, man, every time I heard gunshots. But when you're high, you don't care about that. You don't care
Yeah,
about your
no.
surroundings. So you know what I'm talking about, right? You really didn't care about your surroundings. You only
I
care
would
about one
tell the
thing.
dealer, I'm like, please do it. Take me out of my misery. Please, you're helping me. You know what I mean? Like, it's sad. It's such a sad place.
I'm glad people get to see you talk about this, man. I'm happy you came on and talk, man.
Yeah.
And I pray to God, and I know a lot of people are gonna pray that you and Brian stay in the right path, the righteous one. And
Yeah.
don't go back. Don't take two steps back. Keep going forward. Keep going forward. And I
Like,
always
we have
told you,
no desire
I
together.
told you in the tent, I told you in the tent one time, get clean for yourself and then stay clean for your kids. I told you that. It's very important to know that. You know,
Yep. And
um,
that's true. Like, because that's a big thing that I still struggle with. Like, when I met Michael Moore the first time, he was like, have you ever loved or have you ever had someone love you until you learn to love yourself and never leave your side? And I'm like, no. Like, who cares? I'm Brittany. And like he really has, you know what I mean? And like now I'm starting to learn to love myself. I'm starting to put myself first and realize like there's a reason that I'm here. Like I need to
that's
wake
right.
up and
That's right.
embrace it.
That's
Because for
right.
so long I wanted to die. Like I didn't care. I didn't want anything to help me. Like even though like in the back of my subconscious I wanted to be helped, like I just didn't care. I'm like, I'm not worth it. Look at how I'm living. I'm a piece of shit. I don't got my kids. I don't got my
Brett,
family.
Brett, let me cut you off there for a second. Rose Wilkes, and I put it up on the screen. She said, "I can't believe this is Brittany. You look amazing, girl." So,
Oh, thank you.
Rose Wilkes, send that to you. But yeah, I told you never give up. You look beautiful,
They
I
say
want
don't give up before the miracle happens, and it's true. It is
I want
true.
I'm going to plan a trip out there. If you go to my homepage,
Hmm.
you'll see my
Okay.
email. I want you to
Okay.
email me so I can give you my phone number, so we
Okay.
can stay
Yeah.
in
I was going to say,
contact
I'm
that
like,
way.
how do I give you my
Yeah,
number? Okay.
yeah. Just go to my homepage, email me, and then
Okay.
we'll communicate through cell phones.
Awesome.
All right.
All right.
Is there anything else you want to share to anybody that's watching? You know, anything you want
I
to
mean,
say?
just there's like life goes by so quick and you don't even realize it until it's too late. Um, and every day I want to make sure it's not too late to talk to my kids, to get my family back, because you'll regret it. And every like God only gives, he comes for the weak ones. He only gives you the trials to embrace them and give you a lesson, make you stronger. Sometimes you may not deserve what happens to you, but like as long as you just find peace or God in everything you do, I promise you, you will live a happy life. Like that, I can promise you.
And tomorrow's not promised.
Yep.
Well,
Yesterday's the past, tomorrow's not promised, and today's the present. I don't
Britt,
know if I said that backwards, but
we got to do this again.
yes,
You
we
know I
do.
do. You know I do this every Saturday at 11. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna end it in 5 minutes, but I just want to say, thank you for reaching out to me and to my
Thank you.
subscribers. We've been wanting to know what happened to you guys, and in the name of
Well, I'm
Jesus, stay
here because
clean.
of our interview, and I
Right.
always got happy to see you, and you really are a light down there, and I just want you to know that. Keep helping them get out of there.
It was a team effort. You know what I mean?
I know.
You, Brian, me, the church, and the prayers. Don't forget the prayers
Yep.
from our subscribers. Brittany,
Yep.
I'll talk to you again. Thank you so much
All
for
right.
coming.
It was
Love you.
good
Give
seeing
Brian my
you.
love. Yeah, give Brian my
Well,
love. I'll talk to you again.
all right.
Okay?
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Come on, guys. Come on. I mean, you see, miracles work, praying works, and people that said my channel doesn't work, my channel does work. That's proof right there. And I'm already convinced that my channel does make a difference. Um, so please, uh, people watching this replay, leave a comment below. She will be reading your comments. if you trolls want to come in and leave her a negative comment, she's not going to see it, guys. You already know how that goes. All comments go through me first. So if you want to leave a negative comment, the only one's going to see is you. So please leave a comment. Everybody watching the replay. We'll do this again next Saturday at 11. I might sneak in during the week here and there like I did last week. But I have to edit another video for channel members. And I hope to see you all guys again soon. Okay, right here. Remember, guys, love is the key. And I'll see you in the next one. This is Mike for Café con Mike, a.k.a. Narco Tropolis. Peace out, guys. Love you guys.